Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Predator Hunting Grounds. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, the trial. Let's get to it. Predator Hunting Ground had a beta testing that was available for anyone who wanted it on PC, Xbox, and PS4. So what is it all about and how did it go? Predator Hunting Grounds is an asymmetric combat shooter. There are 5 players to a match, and you are either the Predator, the single Predator in the match, or you are part of the fire team. So 4 players on the fire team, 1 Predator, and a partridge in a pear tree. Now, this is not the only asymmetric combat game out there. There are several other ones, so this is not a new idea. Now, what about the Predator? The Predator has all those neat toys that they can use in order to take down the fire team. At the base level, you're looking at thermal scans and invisibility, or cloaking. It's not complete invisibility. You can still be seen as an outline, and of course your eyes can still be seen. Now the Predator will be dropped on the island in one area. The fire team will be given an option of 4 different areas that they can drop into. Now luckily the Predator has an option to isolate high value targets, aka is the fire team. It only lasts for a short amount of time, but it gives you a direction and it can be recharged. It just takes a little bit of time. So if you lose track of the fire team, that'll help you get back on track. In the beginning, very helpful to tell you what direction to go so that you're not spending 5 or 7 or 8 or even 10 minutes in order to get them down, track them down in the first place. Now matches only take a maximum of 20 minutes from the start of the match till the end of the match, because there is a timer that runs for that 20 minutes. So for that 20 minutes, you have that amount of time to take out the fire team if you're the Predator. If you're the fire team, you have that amount of time to do your job and make it out alive. So as the Predator, initially you have your wrist blades, plasma caster, which is the shoulder mounted cannon, your wrist computer, your cloak, you get 2 med kits, and then your thermal vision. Now, with the exception of the med kit, everything requires energy. You only have so much energy, and things like the plasma caster uses a lot more energy than, say, the cloak or thermal vision. And it will not regenerate unless everything is off. So you have to take your cloak down, no thermal vision, can't be firing that plasma caster in order to get more energy back, and it doesn't take long to get that energy back. However, it does seem like using the cloak maybe shouldn't use energy, and possibly there's a perk that you'll have that down the road, but initially that is where you're at. And speaking of down the road, a lot of the toys that you'll get in your primary and secondary slot are locked behind level requirements. So things like the bow or the spear or the bladed discus of doom, those all you have to gain experience either on a fire team or as a Predator. So you have to play and gain levels in order to unlock those things. So if you watched the dev videos playing this game, you saw a lot of those cool toys, the spear and the blades and the discus and all this stuff that really seemed to help give the Predator an edge. When you're just starting out as a Predator, you're going to have a very difficult time, very tactical, in order to take down the fire team. So as the Predator, initially, especially at low levels, you have to go through and get those fire team members down in the red, get them to where they're bleeding out, and then one of their members, other members, can bring them back up. Depending on the situation, if there is one member that is off by themselves, you might have an opportunity to take them out. If they're clustered together, you have absolutely no chance of taking them out. You can possibly get them to a situation where they're bleeding out, and then one of their team members will bring them back up. Now, as I understand it, there's only a certain number of times that fire team members can be brought back up. So once they go down a certain number of times, then they're out. Now, speaking of that, if you're on the fire team and you're bleeding out or you die, you can still be brought back with reinforcements. They can get to a optional objective and call in reinforcements, and then that fire team member will be back into the action again. So as part of the fire team, there are certain jobs that you can do. And it's the same way with the predator. There are certain types of predators that have either more stamina, less stamina, more gear usage, less gear usage, more health, less health. You get the idea. So too with the fire team, you have different jobs. You have the assault and the recon and the support. And they all have different amounts of stamina, different amounts of gear, etc. And of course, as you're playing, you get more weapon unlocks, perks, more gear unlocks, similarly to the Predator. However, all fire team members have a primary and secondary weapon. You start off with an assault rifle and a pistol, and then of course you can have a grenade and a med kit. There's a couple of starting perks that you can have, but that is it. So when you just start off, it is pretty basic. There's not a lot of options for you to choose from. Now, additionally, I should mention that perks and gear take up space. So perks have a certain point value, and you can only have so many points. So you can't have all of the best perks because maybe they're 5 or 6 points a piece and you can only have 10 points. So you'd only be able to have like 2 of the really good perks, or what the developers feel are really good perks, and then that would be it. So on the fire team, you're given 4 locations. You can vote on where you want to go in. Doesn't necessarily matter. It just depends on whether you're going to be going across the map or more along the side of the map. And they don't exactly specifically say where your target is going to be on the map and then plan accordingly. I think it's based procedurally on where you go in. Now, there are AI in this. They will shoot at both the Predator and the fire team. If the Predator is cloaked, the AI doesn't see it at all. On the fire team, you're supposed to go to these AI camps and then fulfill different objectives depending on what it is. You're supposed to develop an antidote for a poison that they have on site using the on-site equipment, and of course you have to stay within a certain range in order for that to happen, or you have to look and find different relics that have been stolen and take those, etc. You get the idea. You go to a location, you take out AI, and then you find out that what you're supposed to be doing in that area, and then do it. And of course, all the while, the Predator is supposed to take you out. So you have to keep an eye out for the Predator. Now, as a fire team, you have different options. You can do the objective, call in the helicopter, get on the helicopter and get out. Or you can take out the Predator. Take out the Predator and you're done. Now, if the Predator goes down but you don't take him out, the Predator can self-destruct. You have a certain amount of time to get outside of the radius before that explosion goes off. So get to the objective, do the objective, call in the helicopter and get out, or take out the Predator and take him out, or run outside of the explosion zone and you also survive. And that is ultimately the goal of the fire team. Now, the good news is that you get to have a chance to play as the Predator, whether you're playing in quick play or if you're designating yourself as that role. The downside, of course, is that there's a lot of people that are going to want to play as the Predator, so it will likely take you longer to get filled in as the role of Predator than as a fire team member. Now, additionally, as I said before, at low levels, being Predator is going to be very difficult because you don't have anything in that primary or secondary slot. So you don't have a lot of the toys that are available in later levels. Now, on the fire team side, you have limited resources, limited ammo, limited med kits. And if you do not have the gear to get more ammo, or if you do not have the resources, then you're going to run out of those bullets, you're going to run out of grenades, med kits, whatever, and then you're in trouble. You're going to be using your secondary to do all your damage, whether that's a pistol or a shotgun. Now, ultimately, I think when you're playing, that eventually the novelty of playing as the Predator is going to wear off, and it's not as exciting as it was the first time, even with unlocking different weapons and getting to those higher levels where more efficient weapons are available. Just remember that more than likely you're going to be matched up with people of similar level, so you may have more unlocks as a Predator, but they're going to have more unlocks as well. So fire teams are going to be more dangerous in the higher levels as well. So the Predator will have to be more tactical than the fire team. Speaking of tactical, the AI is very, very dumb. You can almost, as a fire team or the predator, completely ignore the AI and just go after the other player or players, depending on what side you're on. If you're the predator, you're invisible. The AI is basically going to ignore you. The fire team, the AI is not very smart. You can take them out very quickly. They don't come at you as a group. So it's very easy to deal with the AI, and then you can focus on the main threat, which of course is the predator. The best scenario for this game is to have yourself plus 4 friends playing in a party where one person can be the predator and everyone else be on the fire team, and you can kind of just shoot the breeze over an evening or day or whatever it happens to be of playtime, with one person being the predator. All 5 people at most is going to be 100 minutes per match with some downtime in between matches. So you figure about 2 hours total between tweaking loadouts as you unlock different levels and the actual playtime. Now, the amount of playtime could be varied from about 5 minutes if things go really well or horribly, or up to 20 minutes if you're going through doing the objectives, doing the optional objectives, etc. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.
Fire team is go. Good luck out there. Voodoo 1, this is Zeus. Rendezvous at the following coordinates. Black bag operation. Get in, place the brakes, get out. No witnesses. God damn it. I got you now. All contact. Stand by. We've got an alert on one of your hazmat sensors. Looks like its levels aren't dangerous, but the composition's concerning. See if you can find the source, but be careful. Out there. Readings are spiked. That's definitely the source. See if you can get a sample for analysis. Analyze the sample. There should be equipment on site. Pick up the alarm! Reinforcements are on the way! Got company! Weapons high!
Get up. You ain't gonna die today.
Was a relative term, so the compound's still explosive. Let's detonate him to be sure. Light him up. That's it, fire team. I think you put in a day's work. Come on home.
Make my limit today. No more fuck-ups.
I just found a way to get you guys some help. Marking your map. Solid copy, Voodoo. Chopper inbound. Reinforcements are on the way! Watch out! Shotgun! Shotgun spotted.
Anyone got ammo? Running around for you boys.
Right over here.